All right, so I forgot to show some interior walls and the opening in the floor between the two levels, but I've gone ahead, I've added in some materials here just so you can see roughly what it'll look like once you're done. We've got all the carrying beams. We've got our travertine walls that go in between the columns. This particular one is actually, if you look at the photos, these are concrete, and again, they go from edge to edge, just like down below. We've got walls in between each. This one, since this is a connected walkway, I've already done 3 of them. I'll show you this 4th one. So all I needed to do was click on it, and if I set the base offset, we want it to match the bottom of those carrying beams. So that's 9 feet from the floor. And now we've got the ability to walk through from end to end. This is the only barrel vault that has the opening. The rest of them are enclosed. And you can see for this outdoor one, none of the outdoor ones have walls. They just have the columns, arches, and carrying beams. So let's go back to main level for a minute here and take a look at some interior walls. We've got this one that runs right along this grid. And it looks like it takes a hard turn here. And there probably is another wall in there, but it actually extends all the way down. And then there's a door here. We've got, these are lighter because they are made out of curtain wall. But we've got walls around this courtyard. We've got travertine walls around this courtyard. Travertine walls around this courtyard with glass doors going in either side. Now these ones are called half walls, pony walls, lots of different names for them. And they connect to the stairs that go down to the basement. So those will be travertine as well, but they will only be 42 inches high, just like the railings at the TDS stairs. Also, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the last video, but if you leave these at full height, they're going to cut into these carrying beams. So these all have a negative 2-foot top offset. All right, so main level, architecture, wall. I'm going to stick with my travertine. And I'm going to go ahead and use centerline, which is rare for me. And I'm going to base it right here. I'm going to go ahead and do the top offset now because I know that it needs to be -2 to be underneath the carrying beam. All right, so I'm going to start right here at this column. And I'm going to come all the way to this column. Now we will add a door later. Now I'm going to come down here. And this time, since we have columns to work with, I'm going to go back to finish face exterior. I'm just gonna, sorry, I'm gonna make this go in between the columns. So anytime it's travertine, we're just going in between columns. This one's gonna extend, and I'm gonna finish it at the grid line. Where's chain not on? Okay. Let me fix that, make it chain. So now I'm gonna come from here. I'm gonna leave this one short. I don't know why I switched to chain at that point, but and I'm gonna come up from here. Now I can extend this and I'll have a reference where it'll snap. Hopefully. To be zoomed out enough. There we go. Now I know it's going to connect. I can go back to the wall. Close that one up. All right, same thing here. We're going in between the beams. We already have these two. So we just need to make this one, which we'll add a door to later, and this one. So the only thing that's left are these half walls. And I'm gonna change things here. I'm gonna get rid of this top offset. I'm gonna make it 0 again, and I'm gonna make it unconnected with a height of 42 inches. And that just did it to the wall I just drew. So let me undo. All right, I'm gonna go to architecture, wall. Gonna be travertine. I'm gonna make sure it's 0, unconnected, with a height of 42 inches. Now I am gonna use this one because it's already lined up with a grid. And then I'm gonna find the midpoint of this and mirror it over here because again, the picture is imperfect. These are symmetrical in real life. So I'm gonna make sure they're symmetrical on here. So sticking with finish face exterior, I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna draw down to the grid. And now I'm gonna come all the way up until I see that blue dash. So now I'm gonna draw a model line in between a chain on when I don't want it and off when I do. All right. So now I've got a place to mirror it. I'm going to click the 3 walls. 1, 2, 3. Mirror pick axis. And now I've got, again, doesn't line up with the picture, but in real life, this is symmetrical. So now I've got pony wall, half wall, lots of different terms for these. I got these walls. I still need to close this off and make the openings in the floor. So go back to my main level. And now I'm going to switch. I'm going to make a wall. I'm going to stick with travertine for now, and I'm just going to change it after the fact. So I'm going to come over to this grid. And I'm going to come down here. I'm actually going to move this because it should be on the outside of the column. Again, if I move this properly, I will see some dashed lines show up, hopefully. No, it is not cooperating with me right now. That's okay. Architecture wall. I'm just going to continue this over here till we get to the grid. Delete this for now. Now that I have the other ones there, it'll hopefully work. Coming from the top corner. Straight down. That's all right. I'm just going to finish it off and then I'll use the align tool. I'm going to align. I want it to be here. And now I can drag this corner. So from the 3D view, none of these are the height I want, but I'm going to show you, I can highlight them all and I can fix them and I can make sure they go to roof. But the more important thing is that I can highlight, especially these arched ones, rather than a redrawing. I can come in here and I can say, actually, this is a storefront wall. Same thing here. So I'm doing that all the way around until it's fully enclosed. We'll deal with the floor openings in class, but please get your interior walls done as well as the exterior walls and carrying beams. You'll see there are lots of interior walls on the basement, but those are part of the extra credit we talked about, rather than a core part of the assignment.